Decent.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Then my passion to strong netting, but passion to strong net. Passion to strong the la, do the geneship to down. So some in the war.
Let's up.
Do the geneship, passion to the true in the war. That living single zombie song jet, strong ever to the song war. That the road taje, that the old mother Karsura. That cheese about the said Marvel cheese in ba. Cheese about that passion. Shindu to what the Jukon Jebere. Jukon Jebers and the Jimba Juge, Tutin Drebo, and Shema Drebotan, Hamangama Jures, cheese in ba. Then the man sugar in ba. Tarak in ba. Carson Dua.
Let's Nipa.
Because Uncle Dan Larichambo. And so, Page and a song just on to son raw. Only a good teeny about it.
Listen.
Listen.
So, welcome everyone to the Chenrezig Tibetan Buddhist Center. Once again, we're looking at Lama Tsongkhapa's great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment, and specifically the section on training the mind on the stage of the path for beings of great capacity. And then specifically within that section, we come to where Rinpoche begins. Everyone turns to page 111. In the English text, you'll find the category number 2, which is an ancillary discussion of the fixed order of the perfections. And there are 3 categories: the order of arising, the order in terms of inferior and superior, and the order in terms of coarse and subtle. So we've gone through various sections of this text, and when we look at how these 6 perfections are presented, they're presented in 2 ways, or they're presented from the source, from 2 different sources. The first source is Lord Maitreya's Mahayana Sutra Alamkara. So that's the first source that we go through in terms of commentary. And then the other source is a text by Master Hari Bhadra that later we get into. I think the text itself. So all of the perfections are results, and all results are dependent upon causes. So when we look at each of the perfections, and this is what brings us to the specific section on order of arising, you see that each of the perfections is caused by the previous perfection. So that meaning that the perfection of ethics is caused by perfection of generosity, and the perfection of patience by the perfection of ethics, and so forth. So this is where we left off last time, and this is in order to support the certainty of number and the certainty, and then within that an ancillary, the certainty of order. So first is the certainty of number, that there are definitely 6, and then this ancillary discussion is about the certainty that they're in the order that they're in because they have cause and effect relationship with one another. So first we again go through Asanga's we go through the Mahayana Sutra Alamkara explanation, and then Hari Bhadra's explanation, and his long explanation of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra in 8,000 lines. So it's a commentary on the 8,000 verse Perfection of Wisdom Sutra, and it's Hari Bhadra's commentary as explained by Asanga. So, Disa.
What that cheese about the Shindu, the Jimba, the college everything, the Jimba, the Ju college everything, the Jimba Tom Pay, the Matumbe, and the Sena Gnemila, so what is the Latin, and the Jimba Tom doing with it. Jimba. That Jimba Jushabal then treating what is treating. Treating Jushabal then Zuba. Zubi Jushabal then Tundu, then something Shero, Hamangamajo, Shama Shaman Debi, what does one do?
Rinpoche, not sure where you're at. Drepongand and the Khensur Dasidan, the Chishena, the Shinju, the Dunyure, Ganginsena, the Jimba Jugu, the Dasidan do it.
What did that Dasidan the return of
The Yoruba.
Jimba the Jugu, the Kunduji is Uncle Jugu.
Then Chishena Dunyure, Drew Yomari Dun.
Shindu.
Okay. Okay. So we see that these 6 perfections all have cause and effect relationships with one another. So we begin with the perfection of generosity. So in dependence upon reflection of the path and reflection on the benefits of generosity and the downfalls of miserliness and so forth, one begins to engage in generosity that becomes the platform then for the perfection of ethical discipline, which becomes the platform for the perfection of patience. So my question just to Rinpoche was, is there a large debate in the monasteries about, maybe there's 7 because then generosity must have a cause. And whatever that is has to be part of that order of arisal as well. So he said, yes, of course, that's the debate. That's part of the whole, logical explanation. But that gets explained in Overview of Path as a just long story short. But yes, so this is order of arising in terms of the cause and effect relationship that we have presented. Digson Rinpoche.
The Shala Koringa Bala Song Le, Song non Tambudo, Chizim, but the rest, Chizim, but ne Lonshola Matashi Machabi, Jimba Yunas, Ludon Lonshola Machabi, Jimba Duna, Sutin Yungres, Sutin Labashilas, Sutin Yungres, Nienshu Lebadombe, Nienshu Lebadombe, Ludi Nebangagel, Neba, in Nebadombe, Sutin Yubaina, Sutin Tan, the Dena, then the Nebala Zuba Yungres, Zobanjuros, Zobanjuro.
Oh, I see.
Kaji Lama Ju, Zobayana, then Dubi Genio, then Sundu Yungres, Sundu J.
So do.
Sundu Nisan, Sundu Tona, then the Sangi, La Mebala, Kuala Lesuno, Dingazicha Yungres, Dingazicha Sona Talaten, then Hadon, Shero Nyaja Yungres, Nyaba Jaba, Nyaba Jana, Nyaba Jana. Yantaba Chetawajin, Tubanjung, Tony Chetawajin Tubi, and the Sherod Jungres. What about the college Juna? Cheers about the
Tuche. So we go right to the great treatise and we look at the ancillary discussion of the fixed order of the perfections. Then there are 3 categories. So what we've been talking about just now is the first category, the order of arising. So when you have a generosity that is disinterested in and unattached to resources, you take up ethical discipline. When you have an ethical discipline which restrains you from wrongdoing, so what is wrongdoing? It's negativity or non-virtue that's created through one's body, speech, and mind. So it's actual abandonment or restraint of the non-virtues that one creates through those 3 doorways. Rinpoche didn't say this, those 3 things. 3 doorways or 3, those 3 things. So when you have an ethical discipline which restrains you from wrongdoing, parentheses of your body, speech, and mind, you become patient with those who harm you. So then we see how generosity gives rise to ethical discipline gives rise to patience. When you have the patience wherein you do not become dispirited with hardships, the conditions for rejecting virtue are few, so you are able to persevere joyously. So when you have this patience that is generated, this third perfection, it says that you don't become dispirited with hardships. You don't, things aren't as difficult, so it's much easier to have joyous perseverance. So your effort becomes joyful because you don't have these hindrances mentally. because you're able to be patient relative to them. So then for the conditions for rejecting virtue or refusal, you're able to persevere joyously. Once you joyously persevere day and night, you will produce the meditative concentration that facilitates the application of your attention to virtuous objects of meditation. So then perseverance gives rise to concentration, single-pointed concentration, being able to application of your attention to virtuous objects of meditation. When your mind is in meditative equipoise, you will know reality exactly. Then this is the perfection of wisdom that is arisen from meditative concentration. So this is how we have fixed order based on order of arising. Decent Rinpoche.
That's about the Jimmy Longe Treaty, the Zubin, Sunday, Louis True, what the Mobile do, what the Jason Jebba and Jimmy never the Longe, what is Jimmy Longe change it there. Shooting the little had the Malaysia days, change it there. Zubin down there, Zubagungina Zuzan, the Ungres, Zubin down there, 20J. Chundru Tamin de Zije Cho Ungres, Zubin down the 20J, Santen Jije, Senju Shishin to what there, Tingan the woman Debres, Santen Jije, Louis True, Number the Shi Debal Drew there, Shirok Debres, what that and what the rules on Shabbat, that gentleman was the Jish Jeba Yundu, Thomas Jimba J, then it's written Zoba Chundru Yundua.
Yes, that's so. So we see a much more expanded explanation of how these perfections give rise to one another. And then we've also seen in Nagarjuna's Precious Garland, where he gives shows the connection between the results that we have in this life, so or in future lives. So just basically the results in a lifetime. So it says from giving comes resources, or sometimes translated as wealth or riches. So generosity. From generosity comes resources or wealth. From ethics comes happiness. From patience, beauty, and from effort or perseverance comes charisma or presence. And from concentration comes peace of mind, and then through wisdom one accomplishes aims, or accomplishes all aims. I could find the exact quote. I don't know why I don't have it marked. We do it so much. But those are the how in Nagarjuna's Precious Garland he shows the connection to the actual six perfections and their results in a lifetime. Decent Rinpoche.
Oh yeah. That is what the Tangasu what the Tambu Jimba Jimba Marba Jimba.
Oh, there it is.
And then Jimba J. That Jimba the Machi Bala Jeremy Sachi Jimbi Mo Tejibi Jebala Jubi Tau Ni J Jimbi Radu Yawa Tundu Saji Dindoje.
The guy
Jimbi Mo Jimba Machi Bala Saji. Lani Chimandu Lani Chiman. Jimbi Mo Tejebala Jubi Tau.
Oh, less of it.
Jimbi Radu Yawa. The Dagton do us. Jeba Shea, my duty so I say, such as you do. That tombo Jimbi won't Shansa in by Shansa. Jimbi won't that Jermichukun Sajiro. Then Jajabitan Sajid is one. That Jimbi won't Gashena. Jimbi won't Gashena. Ujitan Ranki Lula Matayu. Shanchu Sembi Machabadan, Shanchu Sembi Tojuji. Senju Machabadan, Henjibi, Tomadeva Jirwa, Henjibi, Sembagayan, but Jimba Jawures, Tony Semba Jibi.
Okay, then Rinpoche, the Gonga Mepichi, then the Ngatsu, the Ngama Tsar, the Rapa, dan Tramu, the Kanga Tsar, the Jimba Gutso, Gangisene, the Kashi, the Ewa Sum, the Judre, the Nipa Sumba, the Natsu Logomarabe. Okay. Digson. Yeah, Natsu Kasa Natsu de Chinsa. Yene Natsu Consolagu.
Yeah.
Okay, the Natsu Logomare.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to move on from here, because we previously went through this. So Rinpoche just wanted to, quickly give an overview. Then we have the order in terms of inferior and superior, and then the order in terms of coarse and subtle. So now we're going to get into the actual perfection of generosity. And the perfection of generosity is divided into 4 categories in the Great Treatise. What generosity is, how to begin the development of generosity, the divisions of generosity, and then a summary, or a summary. Yeah. So these are the 4 categories, and then it begins with what generosity is. And then we find a quote from Asanga's Shansa from the Bodhisattva levels. And this what generosity is, it actually literally says Jimmy Ngo. Ngo is nature. So generosity is nature. Sometimes that word that I'm using, nature, is the word definition is used. So you could say generosity's definition. Here it says what generosity is. But so I guess Ngo, nature, what it is kind of a looser, but the word for nature is there. So I just wanted to make it clear. So it's nature of generosity, which means the definition of generosity. So this section is defining generosity. So that's what the Tibetan words. So just going back to the Nagarjuna's text, I just want to read the exact quote from Hopkins' translation. From giving there arises wealth, from ethics happiness, from patience a good appearance, from effort true brilliance, from concentration peace, from wisdom liberation. So that's the... and then it says, from compassion all aims are achieved. So that's the exact quote. It's the same exact thing that I've been saying the whole time, but that's the exact word-for-word quote of it. So, Dikson Rinpoche.
다 제비 고 가시나 네 유지 단지도 라기 르라야마다 유 샤주 세비 마샤바당 해지비 semba강연바다 jimba deja ures tekun na yu ne jimba sha yu ngobo yong su ton le dans ngagele to so what the jimba is and this she son batar ton samba gawa dans ton samba gawa de yi ba je tekun na yu le ji jimba dan ngage jimba ni le nga yi son jimba son ja yu res les os what the ba tambere.
Okay.
Lessa.
Oh, ale ngo the tambo the Jimmy ngo ewaje. Jayan Sheba. Okay, Tuchena. Okay, so in Jayan Sheba's commentary, it states that this first section, the nature of generosity, what generosity is, has 4 categories. So in the 4 interwoven commentaries on the difficult points of the Lamrim Chenmo, Jayan Sheba's commentary on this section says there's 4 points made. So the first point is as follows. It's from Asanga's Bodhisattva levels, and it says, the Bodhisattva level says, what is the nature of generosity? It is the intention accompanying bodhisattvas' disinterested non-attachment to all their possessions and their body, and motivated by this, the physical and verbal actions of giving the things to be given. So this is the definition of generosity according to Asanga. Hence, it is the virtue of and then Lama Tsongkhapa then expands. Hence, or summarizes and expands. Hence, it is the virtue of a generous attitude and the physical and verbal actions which are motivated by this. Decent.
다니바 어디 집이 바로 심바 드레도와 집이 바로 심바 집이 바로 심바라 주의 집이 바로 심바다 데베 바로 심바니 여로와 주의 바로 집이 바로 심바서는 자주 선비 주지 심바데 주의 바로 심바스 사지고 또 주의 심바 예자 주의 집이 바로 심바스 사지가 토주지 심바데
Less. Nipa.
Yeah.
Okay, and now the second category, we're going to get into the actual perfection of generosity and what the point of that is. So when we look at perfection of generosity, we say that there's two categories. There's causal perfection of generosity and resultant perfection of generosity. So the perfection of generosity, which is being practiced, which isn't perfect yet, by a bodhisattva, is the causal perfection of generosity. So the generosity being practiced on the bodhisattva path is causal perfection of generosity. Then resultant perfection of generosity is the generosity that a Buddha engages in. So the perfect generosity of a Buddha is the resultant perfection of generosity. So there's causal perfection of generosity. And you could make it read easier, but it wouldn't be literal by saying what the causes of the perfection of generosity, the resultant perfection generosity. Resultant perfection generosity. So that's literally what it means. The causes for that perfection, and then that actualization of that perfection. So that's what causal and resultant's referring to. Bodhisattva path being the causal, the resultant perfection being the Buddha's generosity. So this is the next second point we're going to get into, Jamin Sheba says. Okay? Nipa, the Kabiyare, the Puik.
Nipa dala jimba paru de shimbanes. Nipa dala jimbi paru de shimbanes. What sonja juju rejig tatadro. Dala jimbi paru de shimbane. Jijai zela tan yu. Roa na ju yuwa. Poala mutudes. Jimbi paru de shimbala. Jimba tane. Roa kanga shubuzugu mares. 수수기 짐비기 생도 고나 동생도 고네 타신으나 짐비 바로 드신 말마도 네 노아 참아 슈부주고 말레스 메드데 다다 마이너스 다돈 노아 템보 도마 유베스 네 하마가 소지도 짐비 바로 마신 바탈 다다 노아 템보 유베 주부 뭐 유베 하마도 짐비 바로도 마신 바탈 그레스 다다 마이나 다돈 로아템부 도마유베 로아템부 쭈부서다
the Sanjay Omari
안는 한번 사지 짐이 바로도 마신스라고 그래서 짐이 바로 지금 생을 돌려 짐바도 공원에 바로도 심바레마도 네 짐바다는 강가 슈부주고 말레스
레서
조로스 what about 니바레마라
Okay, so now the second category is this, or second point. Bringing the perfection of generosity to completion is not contingent on removing beings' poverty by giving gifts to others. Otherwise, since there still remain many destitute living beings, all the earlier conquerors would not have attained perfect generosity. So the perfection of generosity isn't dependent on the recipient having their poverty completely removed. It's the mindset of the being who's engaging in the generosity. Because if it required all beings to have all poverty removed and all destitute conditions removed, then since there are still those conditions, the consequence would be that there are no Buddhas, because there are no perfect and there are no beings that have perfected generosity. So Buddha is perfect in all ways, so there isn't one missing piece. So that would mean there's no Buddhas if it was contingent or required that the perfect generosity meant that the result was there was no more poverty. So it's just making the point that it's the mindset of willingness, going back to the actual, you go back to the definition of what it is, and the motivation, the intention accompanying this non-attachment that's motivated to give with body, speech, and then mind. Decent.
다 진비 롱쇼스 진바도 롱쇼 주인스 도와 진비 롱쇼스 진바 동안 되는 롱쇼도 용어레스 롱쇼도 진비 제버레스 달 진바 주 롱쇼 주인나 년년 해지시jen이스 what 줄산다도다.
So we say that generosity is the cause of enjoyments or wealth. So how does Hopkins translate longshu? Wealth. Okay, so we say that from generosity, wealth arises. So from a causal perspective, is this an actual direct cause or primary cause, or is it a cooperative condition? Which among these is it? So then it says, from ethics arises happiness. So is this arisal of happiness, is this a direct cause or a substantial cause, or is it a cooperative condition when we say that ethics gives rise to happiness? Is it a cooperative condition, or is it a direct cause or substantial cause?
So then
we move on to the next topic of patience and say the same thing. We say that patience gives rise to beauty. Is it a direct cause, substantial cause, or is it a cooperative condition? Which among these is it? Among these two is it?
So then
to make an example so it's able to be understood, if we use the example of a mango tree, the mango tree's seed is its substantial cause, and then the sunlight and the water and all of these other things around it are the cooperative conditions. So this is an example that makes it very easy to understand what the difference between this substantial cause and the cooperating condition is. Decent Rinpoche.
What is that? 다 jimba ngon la wote saji jimar jidine ta somba tere jimba de la ne yiji shebi jimba ta le da nga ge jimba yedro da zu gares na yiji sheba zu res le da nga ge jimba du pebares zu yiji sheba res wote somba tere do dena le da nga mo zu yi le ji jimba da nga ge jimba zu mares ane sen zu joba de yiji sheba zu res da da ran la dubi le da la dubi le da longshue geza tangji le sana senin zeba jone yen la samba taba ne tong shin sa ta jemba tong du ta le dong longshue jemba tong du de le dong longshue le chabe sana de bon goro sana le nye bu goro tong shin de zang do ma ze se ne jebe paru de jemba sa de sana bon ba tang le jebe paru de jemba sa ma res sana bomba teme da jumba le yoares sana nyedi res teme da jumba yenza nyedi gan bon sabare sana bon sares sana bon sabare de nyara da jun de jibi baru de shima mares what the heading do 대전도 맞에 땅유 제보
That's so. So
제보 나장 sentient la dari lo comba 용수조발레 예비 바르신 바 유쇼로스 테멜도 마레스 대다 임바야 수송고도나 쉐주레노 쉐주레 게든조와 유보와 예비 바르신이나 다돈르젠 유연한 조바지다 바르신 도바 타진 대제데 주군라 당생제 예비 바르신 손데 대대되는 생이도 어디 담아대 공대인서로 공 네.宣주레스 게든도 유보와 예비 바르신이나 다돈 로제 유연한 단단도 세제 주부 몸도나 그냥 상제도 예비 바르도 가는 신바레스 예비 바르신은 유복가 쇼부조고 바이나 안에 어디 차는 그래도 어디 고고 말했어 예비 동생한테 바르도 신바이나 는 예비 바르신 바른도 유복가로 쇼부조고 말했어 다돈 로제 유연한 주바지다 바르신 내가 사자 도발아서 버텨서 바르신 바가는 신바레스 단다는 로아주 뭐 예배제 다시 단다 말이야 도바 당진 대제대 주군라 제마당 아마 제비 제버대 세제는 호그레스 세제는 호게 나오대 아부요레스 도바 당진 대제대 도바스는 제마당와도 도바로 왔다 디 제버대 세제는 호하데 안에 야부시라레스 도바 당진 대제대 주군라 당생지 생제 당지라 당유 생제스 제바 마제 제비 제버대야 세제라 당고르스 당유 생제 네 제비 바르디 제바 송요아레스 제비 바르 신송데 대대는 생이도사 두이 제바드레스 인사레 나마도 생조서야 된서로와
Let's.
셰소 어디버지 주잖아
Okay. So that was number 2. And just as a quick translator's note, the definition of a substantial cause is a main producer, which is the type which continues to the substantial effect. And the definition of cooperative condition is a main producer, which is not of the type which continues to its cooperative effect. So those are the 2 definitions, just as an aside, because Rinpoche mentioned it a few times. So now we are at number 2 is completed. I'll just read number 2 through just in case, and then show you where number 3 begins. Bringing the perfection of generosity to completion is not contingent on removing beings' poverty by giving gifts to others. Otherwise, since there still remain many destitute beings, all the earlier conquerors would not have attained perfect generosity. Number 3 begins, therefore, the physical and verbal aspects of generosity are not the main thing. The main thing is the mental aspect. So when we look at the 3 ways to be generous through one's body, speech, and mind, it's the actual mind, which is the chief, the main collector of the virtue of generosity. This is because you perfect generosity after you destroy your stingy clinging to all that you own, your body, resources, and roots of virtue, and you completely condition your mind to giving them away to living beings from the depths of your heart. And not only that, but also to giving to others the effects of this giving as well. Thus, engaging in the bodhisattva deed says, if generosity were perfected by removing beings' poverty, since beings are still destitute, how could past saviors have perfected it? Generosity is perfected, it is said, through the attitude of giving away to all beings all your possessions, along with the effects of this. Therefore, generosity is a state of mind. So it's the state of mind of willingness to, because of this lack of attachment, etc., give anything needed to benefit a being. That's the springboard for all of these other activities of speech and physical activities, if you in a looser translated way. Disa Rimche.
Oh yeah, that ne.
Sumbatsar.
Da jimbi ngo, da jimbala jubi taught marba. Jimbala jubi taught. Jimbala jubi taught la ngon dang. Le dombo yu mensi dang. Doju saji sung ding duwa. Dombo.
The Rimche, the Jimbi ngo Jayan Sheba Ewa Je. Then Shunju Sumba. Shunju the long
da ngo
Sumba.
nalu marba de.
Then Jipa Gare.
Ngo nalu jirwa. Jiba.
The God
Jiba tema tela jimbi paru jimbi nyalenes. De na jimbi paru jimbi nyalene. Ngo tu ze jen la ton me jans. Jimbi nyalen de wa ngo tu ze jen la ton me na ya. Ton sen gong de ge res ton sen. Ton me jan. Ton yu sen ba go to ma ne jie jin. Jibi de ton la de ne wa de jiba de do jiba.
Okay. Then Esa.
Yeah.
Okay, and then number 4 is after the quote from Shantideva, we find this. Thus, the practice of the perfection of generosity entails generosity, generating in various ways, or practicing in various ways the intention to give, and steadily increasing this generosity, even though you may not be actually giving away something to others. So this intention is increasing, even though you may not be physically giving anything away. Your generosity is increasing daily. That should be your practice, that it's growing, that your generosity is growing, increasing. Disung. Dene?
Oji, tata nipa jimbala jubi taudrwa.
Lessa.
Nipa jimbala jubi taudla ngun dang le dangbo la mensi ni je, nipa je, dojo do song duwa song. Ta dangbo sana dang, cha dang ji yen mi dang, dangbo la sana dang, cha dang ji yen mi dangbo je. Don sen ju zui ni duwa. Ta dangbo sana dang, shen cha ji nian mi de la juji le juji, sa ji juji le juji nang dangbo de le.
Nipa juje irbe.
Ane.
Ale.
Ngon dang dangbo ni le se. Ngon de la juji le do juji. Ngon de la juji nang dangbo de le. Dangbo.
Matsu Kawa Reson. So 365. It's gotta be down here. Nipa Ludang Lonshu La Sena. Okay, Rason. Gonga Mebachi Nge Chik Jason. One thing I missed from before is just going back. This just cued me. It's going back to what generosity is in the various categories. When we got to the third category, where it's saying that just getting rid of stinginess, just getting rid of miserliness alone is not the perfection of generosity, because Henianists actually get rid of this. When we look at the afflictive obstructions, they become foe destroyers, so they have gotten rid of this miserliness, but they haven't perfected generosity because this mental state of motivation isn't there. So it was something I forgot from before, so I just wanted to make sure I included that. So now we go to number 2 among those 4 categories, and it says how to begin the development of generosity. And I think it literally says the method for generating generosity in the Tibetan. I think it says top. So there are 18 categories, apparently, in this section, according to Jayan Sheba. So we'll find them. Okay.
Da
Juje.
Juje nan dambu tere
Lo.
le dan longshu la sena ma le chongba zangji le dan longshu la sena memba zangji sena chongba zangji yimi paru de shima rogu mares
That's so.
yimi pashin tu menjo de sena de cha ji cha tongba yimbe sena de cha tu yin san yue ri res time da jongba bongcha res time da jongba tu ne yimi paru de shima se mares yimi ge sena jongcha res to ba yimbe teme da jumba ni ji jang ne tu da jung da raja da jung ni ji jang sana sabyon da je ba malu ba bom bi shero sa sama sana sabyon da je ba malu ba ne tu da jung da raja da jung pon cha ba re ne tu da jung da raja da jung du so ne jimi par de shima se ma res pon bi shero sa da ni ba tere ni ba 디시 동유기 스니 군든 제바 세와 장도 마제 네 집에 버리듯이 심발아 가르고 그랬었는데 그거래서 다지르면서 디시 동유 동아 심바로 심바기 게트 스나로 스나 네 스니 군든 제바 스나 bomba 장도 마제 두바 타지 젤라 동유 삼바 타바네 네 동생 제고레스 동생 제고소스 어디바드니 바래 디셔 짐베게 스나 bomba 장제 짐베 바르시마서 마레스 네 대마제 두바 타지 젤라 동유 삼바 타바네 제고소스 두바 타지 젤라 동유 네 동생을 공고레스 샤주 사바즈마도 테면 주대 동생을 공부 매들어 집에 버리 집에 있어줘 말이스 스나본에 잡아요 말이스
The tambo. The nipa.
니바
Okay.
대시 스니게 군도 제바 세와 정도 마제스 아니 집에 버리 집에 가르고 그래서나 스니게 짐베게 스나 세와 정도 마제 도바 타지 젠라 또 상바 타바는 공고레스 공바 타신 것들 준비 버리셔서 오레스 제고소스 니바레
Okay. So just bear with me on this, the break points on it. I just want to make sure I catch, because it's not, I'm going to try. Simply destroying all stinginess in regard to your body and resources is not the perfection of generosity. For stinginess is included within attachment, and so even the two kinds of Hinayana arhats have totally eliminated along with its seeds. So the afflictive obstruction, so it along with its seeds is the afflictive obstructions, that which causes it and itself. So it's not talking about those imprints that are the subtle ones left over that are obstructions to omniscience. That's not what seeds means here. Seeds is referring to those afflictive obstructions. So the Hinayana foe destroyer of two types, the hearers, which are the Shravakas, and the solitary realizers, which are Prachika Buddhas, have both reached nirvana. They are foe destroyers. They have gotten rid of miserliness, but they do not have the perfection of generosity. And then number 2 point is, what is required then is that you not only clear away stinginess as tight-fistedness, which prevents giving things away, but also that you develop from the depths of your heart the intention to give away to others all of your possessions. So it's this mental state that has to be there. Not just this lack of stinginess. It's an actual active thing that your mind is doing, wanting to give, as opposed to just not being stingy. It's an activity that it's wanting to give. As it's different. One is just an absence of, and the other is an active wanting to give. Miserly, not being miserly doesn't mean you're actively wanting to be generous. It just means that you aren't stingy. when asked, but this is just actively always wanting to give, not just not being miserly. So that's number 2, I believe. That's the second break point. Okay, Digsung Rinpoche.
다 진비 제부터 롱셔 말봐. 진비 제부 롱셔 든도 있다는 해봐다. 내도 되는 해봐 니요레스. 든도 되는 해봐 추진을라레스. 추진 명주봉 추진다. 개념 추진다. 수탁 추진 상승 추진도 도솔라 되네. 든도 있다는 토바이나. 되네 진비 롱셔데 든도 하다 메이 되는 해오레스. 네 든도 있다는 토메바이나. 근데 제일 longe de ngando que tem medres. Quando nós chata chuto do cosul, né jebi de do outro, cosul sano cosul dawa euro. Te jebi de marba. Jebi de bote ngana son tem mesmo ro da. Chata chuto cosul kalasan jebi do cosul. Ote jebi de bote ngando tem mesmo marba. Jebi de do ote ngando tem mesmo. Eda do jeje no lola so bote se tem mesmo isso. dendru tendu mato na, ane jembe longshe de, lo dan yeda zhu jen la so, te se ten mende yis. Ane tondu tang, te se ten mende yisar marbe.
Tsuchin mena?
Tsuchin mena, ten de togo maro.
Lesa.
Ane te longshe dendru ten me togo maro.
Lesa.
Ta tondu tang, lo dan yeda zhu jen, she cho to se.
Oh, lesa, okay. So,
ane shadan shu to la ten, kutul doan do te. Jembe debote dondu ten me omarbe.
Less so the results of previous actions give rise to experiences in various different ways and in various different realms. So for instance, one can engage in a lot of generosity, but that does not necessarily mean that that generosity gives rise to a higher realm rebirth of the gods and humans, because we see many cases where, for instance, certain animals have a lot of resources, have a lot of wealth. They're able to have food very easily. They have a very nice place to stay, whereas others do not. You see birds that have more things than others, that have a easier way of living than others. And you also find many stories of even hungry ghosts and spirits and so forth that are quite wealthy and have large amounts of resources, but they are in the lower realms of existence. So if the ethics aren't there, then the generosity will just give rise to a concordant result, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be in a higher realm. It may be an experience in a lower realm of some sort of happiness that occurs while you're residing there, and that happiness was a result of a major generosity that you engaged in a previous life. But if it's not coupled with ethical discipline, then it does not give rise to higher realm rebirth. So the ethical discipline becomes a cooperative. It cooperates with it to give rise to the realm as well as the good experience within the realm. So the experience within the realm can be produced even in a lower realm. A good experience within the realm can be produced even within a lower realm, but the aim is in a higher realm, which requires other things than generosity, mainly ethics.
Tanyi baji somba tere doa, somba tela yonso zonyu nyeme tang yu penyo gombe te jeba shao sa. Somba tela yonso zonyu le tang longshe yonso zonyu nyeme. Tel chaba jene jun yu wares, ne jemba tanga ina penyo chebares gombe an te jeba shao sa, wate netu te shegu res zonyu sare.
So then, number 3, for this you have to meditate on the faults of holding on to things and the benefits of giving them away. I shall therefore discuss these. Then the lung sumba? Okay. Then the quote is also included within number 3. Do. Khandra Pradipa Sutra.
Roa ju lön da dans, roa ju lö, ananga su lö de roba namares roba. Rati marba. Roba namares. Roa ju lön da dans. Su ja yuwa su ja yuwa ome jens. Su de ya nga su rang yo mares. Le don nyomo bi jwa jens. Le don nyomo gaji ji pen ja na daga de ma du. Den de du sun san res. Rang me ba jin le gi jwa jens. Su ja yuwa ome ji rang me ba res. Ne malanda juma malanda bure juma da bures malan lu da tin da ba de su petu su de do juma che na juma se no de da juba de de mil de shu ayo marbe ta ta ma bu tong a juma se ro da juma ke ji de jin talent de Treatise ha ji me levis je na ma de go de shin mil de shu ba ina shin tu su ta na la bu tong a de me ro malanda juma shebanda da chabe na so otta be malanda da yu le long sho tu la ne sheba su su de chaba cha de go res chabe na shindu maron le she de so otte chaba de jeba yin so de la de ne le nga ba sa gres shindu maron le she de dibe on to son da me ke cheda jembe son sa ne me ke ba tu cheda jemba cheda ke ta so numero cheda jembe son da me te senyen ros de lenga ba sa ba yin da tin de bedele ne senyen ni wala so to sul chen de gres da me ze ni wan ro she le ma san wa ta su resides chudar yuwa le su ni ga leji le inanda su inanda leji yongwa jen res rangwa yo ma res yongwa jen yinbe rangwa yu da me ba dan rangwa yu da me ba rangwa da dhruba rangwa me ba yin da me ba dan malang juma tabo jumba tenes to so ngalo mala to juma na jumba ta gores deba tuba ta jo mares deba tuba ta sun tela din chaba che wadin lenge sa na nyawan che balo so din rebu nga ba yung gores tela chaba ga gude te malu na chabi on chaba de malu na le long sho la chaba de malu na chaba de yoba ina tene chabi jiwan de son de Nyeshe Chenmo na sa ne, luji magawa, ngagi magawa, iji magawa, diba chiba sa ne, ngandun ruwa, somba dans, wada bata jiba re.
Okay. The Moon Lamp Sutra, these childish people are attached to this rotting body and to this rushing life force, both of which lack independence and are like a dream or a magician's illusion. So these unintelligent beings do terrible things, fall under the control of sin, and carried away by the chariot of death's lord, proceed to unbearable hells. Rinpoche, let's go. The Dawe Do, the Sumba, Rube. The Long Sumba?
Sumba da drumin to dro, da
Okay.
drumin da
Then the
druma.
Lungsar Jipa Gutso?
Ruwa jubi lundin sujang yuwa
Gome
wame jin, malang juman drawa, sheba, dada chabi na. Tene marung le she te, dibi wanto sunwa tang, meke cheda yuebe sun. Dada maze
Okay.
niwan dro, she lu ma zangwa tang, su rezaji, chudara yuwa tang, le su nyi ka le ji, yinwa jin yinbe, rangwa yu da me ba tang, malang to juma, tabu jumba res, jumba tene, tala chaba de ga gu res, chaba de maga na ti wang le sa ne, nga sun jeba la su, rebe nga ma yung res, chaba de ga gu de, te malu na chabi wang to sun de, nyan shue chenpo na sa ne, nga run ruwa, ane tundru la su, te su jiwa sun yuwa res, sun ba tang, wataba tu,
Kabir, the
jeba drwa, jeba.
Jipa Kabagutso. The Dong?
Jeba da drama.
Sumba.
Jeba da drama. Sumba dala yung su zung yu, nyame da tang yu pen sa, tama tez ma dhuma dwa. Jeba da,
Nyerme the Sumba?
Sumba dala yung su zung yu,
Tambo
nyame
Sina?
da.
Tambo?
Tama tama le chinsa zung ta.
Tambo? Nipa. The Dawi Lung Jipa? The Lung.
Da drama to jeba re jeba. Ruwa jubi luen da tang, su zang yuwa ome jin, mulang juma tabola, sheba nang chabe, shindu marung le she de, debi wang to sunwa tang, meke sheda yunbe sun. Tada mazi sentient nyawang le chek des. She lu ma zangwa tang, da jirim ma sebi zong mariba. Lu ma zangwa tang, su de rezaji chudar yuwa, tenbi yuwa maris, lu tong su kanga, mataba res. Lu su nye ka, le ji yinwa jen yinbe, rangwa mebe, da meba tang, malang tu yuma taba res. Malang tu yuma taba jumba te ne, tala chaba te ga gu res. Ga gu te malu na, chabi wang ki nga sun tu che de, nyan shue chenpo na sa ne, nga run zhuwa sun ba dans, wataba te sheba re.
Okay. So, just real quickly, what number were we on before? What number did I say that the quote from the Moon Sutra was? 3. Okay, so Rinpoche is saying that the benefits for this meditate on faults of holding on to things and the benefits of giving them away, and the benefits of giving them away is 3. And then number 4 starts with the sutra. And it goes all the way to, I'll read to where it goes all the way to. So the Moon Lamp Sutra says, these childish people are attached to this rotting body and to this rushing life force, both of which lack independence and are like a dream or a magician's illusion. So these unintelligent beings do terrible things, fall under the control of sin, and carried away by the chariot of the Death's Lord, proceed to unbearable hells. This says that you should stop attachment by viewing the body as unclean, life as rushing like a mountain cascade, both body and life as devoid of an independent self because they are under the control of karma and are both as false like a dream or a magician's illusion. Furthermore, if you do not stop attachment, you will become dominated by it, build up great wrongdoing, and proceed to miserable realms. So this is Lama Tsongkhapa explaining the quote. So that's number 4. 1, 2, 3. I see. That's number 4. Okay, Digsung Rinpoche.
Da nga ba go tayi ba sa dire nga ba. Go tayi ba drubi zon le jans, go tayi ba drubi zon do yina, dan yu yin jin jire. Ka re do.
Hakoma ngay samba nga.
Oda nga re nga.
Ananta Mukha Niharna Dharani. Nga Gimbadra.
Gotaya badru zonle jans. And sentient kanda kaji zunjo was. Sentient kanda kaji zunjo. Sentient nape zaba yoroda. Zunjo wa. Di yizha yongsun zemba des. Yizha chuna daba druba zemba denzin de re songdo yojire. Yizha yongsun zemba de. Tete kala sipa jowa mons. Tete kala sipa jowa sa. Chu kala daba druba zemba denzin de na. Te kuna na de desha to hondo te chede marbe. Wate chuna daba maruba tane tila mebi chaba dan kontrola soba pongo res. Yeza yonsun zemba te kala sipa jowa pons. Desha to kontrola soba daba maruba tane pongo res. Chuna daba maruba shezuna denzil nyo gre, denzil debo desha nyo gre, kontrol nyo entidade. Tete kala seba jowa pon. Seba pon shena, seba doshat pon shena. Pomba shena zun sun joro she dansa. Zun sun joro. Seba pona zun chanur se na she dan. Ta droba de ladu.
Let's say.
Droba ladu le jans, ladu ndeba xuanju mar, xuanju zongke de. Xuanju da ladu ni yoro, jasi shem shiwalai, xuanju da ladu ni yoro. Ladu le songdo se ladu.
Let's say.
Ladu le jans, dedar, dagi le dan sen, keji re roa ni, dagi le dan sen tu kang mataba re, taba mare, ku keji jino ores, keji re roa ni. Kete tada, kete mata tripabe, lueji tajin, trimenji, shanchu toba jonanes, na kete es, lue don longe tu mata basan tamba ina, tena ko de tanil nyo tegi, ane, chuna deme tubi shira tubi juya shego yirwada. Deba maruwa tubi jo. Bobi lue ji tajin trimen chis, lue taban zime, tanzin chi traman meba. Shanchu toban jo gres, shanchu toba. Nyetu chi shanchu tang, ranje chi shanchu tang, tejin shanchu toban jo gres. Teme ba ina, nyetu chi shanchu, ranje chi shanchu. Tejin ina, teba chimbi shanchu, sanji to gres. Toban jonane tena remen ye minas nga su wote rithama ba nga su labal leba marbes le yores nga su suzo santana o son dinzer shedan jero le jang jero gong ji jang do jero su ji ba yin jero
The Kanga Ngapa, the Laptun Drupa, Shirab Dumba Gare.
o to su ngalo wote da no me jeba te khon ro jeba
That's so.
jeba te khon re
Dene the Ngapa. The Ngagi Long.
jeba te khon je ro wa
Dene.
jeba je ta ngaba de kabando ngaba
Ngapa the Ngatsu Tsampa the
ngaba gutai ba danda de ngaba gutai ba se de
That's so.
trobal ho du de
Okay. Then Jerup Dumba?
jero
Jerup Dunba? Jerup Long.
ha du les
Jerup Long.
ta ala damo ngaba de gutai be
Okay.
gutai du
Ngapa Dang Drupa Nga Den.
oh yeah
Ngede la.
yeah
Okay, to Chenrezig. Okay, so now number 5. Consider also the formula that accomplishes limitless methods. As to living beings who dispute with others, it is tight-fistedness that is the root cause. So renounce that which you crave. After you give up craving, the formula will work. So ultimately, it is a grasping at things as being truly established that is the ultimate craving, the grasping at the I, the grasping at the body, grasping at our resources as having some true establishment. And it is the antidote that realizes that things are not truly established because they dependently originate that serves to demolish and negate all of the wrong views that give rise to all of the negativities that we experience now and will experience in the future. So it says, renounce that which you crave. Literally, develop a desire to definitely emerge from this attachment, because the root of craving is this grasping at true establishment. So develop a desire to get rid of that, to renounce that, to emerge from that wrong view. So that's what it's ultimately saying here. After you give up craving, the formula will work. So once you've given into this and you've begun to practice in this way, the teachings the Buddha has given that he or she says will give rise to Buddhahood will work and cause that Buddhahood. So it's saying that these all this is necessary in order to move forward on the path. So that's number 5. And number 6 is from the Compendium of Trainings. This is by Master Shantideva, who wrote the Guide to the Bodhisattva's Way of Life, or engaging in the Bodhisattva deeds, I believe is what they call it in this text. So Shantideva, this is another text that he wrote called the Compendium of Training, and it says, "My body and mind move on moment by moment. If with this impermanent body dripping with filth I attain enlightenment which is permanent and pure, will I not have attained what is priceless?" So it's saying that our body is impermanent, our mind is impermanent. Moment by moment, it's disintegrating or changing, and it's saying with this impure body that we have, it says dripping with filth, the impurities that we have. With this impure body, we can achieve purity. So isn't that priceless? So it's getting us to gain this joy for what we can experience because of these teachings. Or it's saying, will I not have attained what is priceless? There's no price that can be put on this. So it's saying, why be attached to anything whatsoever? Because what is priceless can be attained by not being attached at all, or not having this hurdle, if you will, at all. So it's saying, will I not have attained what is priceless? So by giving up this attachment to things that you could put value on, you actually achieve something that is so valuable you can't put a price on it. So that's what it's saying. So that's number 6, and then we get into the garland of birth stories.
Jirole.
Dunba?
Ladu les, Xuanju Tonghendro, Shangjindewa.
Lessa.
Ladu le Jang, Dagi Ludan Sen, Gejir,
Lilosar.
Roanis,
Less.
Gedemata, Trebobe, and the Luji Tajin, Tremenji, Shanju Tobanjo, Mataba Gumbaina, and then Temeda Jumba, the Sanju Gumotu Junro,
Lessa.
Tenerime, near me down, Shidagin to Labale, Yabuji Heres, Jero Le Jang, Damen Gila, Himbo may be loose, Jero Le, Jero Sujibasio, Jero Sanji Toro, Jero Le Jang, and then I should lure the Damebares, Dameba Inte, Tendi in Bezer, Damela, Himbo Meba, Madabares, Madaba, Himbo may be loose. Tanga zu le de shujil in him may be lures, shujil santama ina, Dayudan Asian early house, Nanga zu le de Asian noble havers, Dayudan and the Asian early la. Nranya Batarizanshi, Niagajil Nakilo Danda, Chundi Sane, Jiden Shawagun, Pimpa Shawajin Tujane, Ninsen could Hibbelaba Gus, what Jirmajo to Somarba. Shujin and also Lud Matabare, Hibbu Mabare, Shujin, a young noble habe, Lude Diores. Shujil and also Lud, a young noble habe, him Jusan Garasana, Nasu May Ludendi Tule, then Dindul Hatam May, Tenzon Tuagi, Juju Drugi in a Dutugre, Sujin Son Tugres, Tabatuaga, Juju Druba Inaya, and also Tony Gombalas with Tutugres, Sanji Gomon to be Juju Druba Inaya, Lunde to Dutugres, Dutuba Inza, Nasu Lude in Noble Labores,
Lesser.
Shuni Sandando, Kyang Shun Sanjita, Yendang Shusani Dando.
Lesser.
What is the Lagudwa?
Then Rinpoche, the Lapdu, dan Jerup, the Nyamdu, Dunba? The Jayan Sheva Sache. Okay. Nyamdu. Lapdu, dan Jerup, Nyamdu. Okay. Okay. So then this, the Garland of Birth Stories is also contained within it. Rinpoche said that number 6 has quite a few quotes in it. Okay, so we'll say 6. So Garland of Birth Stories: this body devoid of self, perishing without substance, suffering, ungrateful, and continually impure, is of benefit to others. Not to delight in this is not intelligent. So it's saying this body is devoid of self. Why is the body selfless? Why is there a non-existent self? There is a non-existent self because it dependently originates. Because of dependently origination, we show that there is no truly existent self. So a truly existent self is non-existent. So truly established self is non-existent. True self is non-existent. It says perishing, meaning that it's impermanent. Moment by moment it disintegrates. It's momentary. Definition of impermanence is momentary. So it is momentary. It is devoid of self because it dependently originates. It says without substance, meaning it has no inherent existence because it dependently originates. And it is said that this body that we have is more valuable than a wish-granting jewel because it's from this body. It says this ungrateful and continually impure, this body of filth. And again, it says, my body, I'm going to go back to compendium, my body and mind move on moment by moment. Again, the same is perishing. In the Jataka, the Garland of Birth Stories, move on moment by moment and perishing are the same point that's being made. If with this impermanent body dripping with filth, and here it says suffering, ungrateful, and continually impure, I attain enlightenment, which is permanent and pure, will I not have had what is priceless? It says, this body devoid of self, perishing without substance, suffering, ungrateful, continually impure, is of benefit to others. Not to delight in this is not to be intelligent. So again, it's saying this body that's filthy, that is unclean, allows us to become Buddhas. It's more valuable than a wish-granting jewel, even though it is all of these things that it's saying here. It's impermanent, it disintegrates, it's impure. It's a vessel to higher realms. It's a vessel to liberation. It's a vessel to complete Buddhahood. It allows us to achieve all of these things. And it says, not delighting in this idea isn't very smart, knowing that even with all of these negativities, that we can still be of ultimate benefit to others. We can become Buddhas. Would it not be intelligent to delight in this? Doesn't this make sense that we should be happy that this thing that is so unclean and impure and disintegrating could be used for something of the highest value, which is priceless? So this is the point that's being made within here. Okay, Jerup dan sar, lod sar, then donda lod sar.
Jerup tasma. Oje datenma. Jerup sarwa dan beba de mensong jansi dan aso le de 네 매바도면 깔레 뭐지는 그 송주는 제바 이나야 송장 내가 도급에 담을 신으로다 조부고 요자지래
맞아.
네 도급에 네 해보면 르진라 삼베 땅유 라제지 되면 조발라 네 대다를 로 마종하는 다 lumbo 냥도 산내사 다 소소 젠 땅네 니버 말아봐 저 어떤데 대바도 난 lum보에 산당 그래서 다 lumbo 냥도 산내 르라소바 나 르라소바 젬바 땅 그래서 젬바 르롱슈 단다 수주 내가서 르젬바 베제마다나 야리 송요 올려래 네 르라소바 젠라 나유 로 제제샤오스 르진바타 롱셰진바타 어데 진바타들 공고레스 제제샤오 전주레장 타제 땅에 양한다스 르롱조 사마진바타마이나 양한데베 공토그레 산제그레스 달은 양한데바도 타제 땅 차지라 세제나라 땅 초스 네 타제 땅에 양한다 르롱조 사마진바 땅에 양한랜다 산지고 못도 그래 안능아수 네 양한데바 두고 타바 타제진바 투비 제도 아주 그거 두고로다 달은 양한데바 두 타제 땅 차지라 세제나라 땅 초레스 세제나라 땅 잡아 초 진바는 야슈데 세제나라 땅들레스 초 제소스 파신 두발레장 어떻게 갈래 주나든 몸도
네 칸가
주도레드
냠두.
주비 공래
Okay. So
내가
this,
집에 고모장도
these there's going to be quite a bit that's going to be included, as I said before, in this one point. Though you make much effort to care for your body, which has no substance, you have to discard it. By sincerely giving it away to others, you fulfill many of your own and others' aims. After you think, I would be a fool not to train my mind to do this. Do whatever you can to produce the thought of giving away your body and the like to others. Engaging in the bodhisattva deed says, by giving everything away, I pass from sorrow, so my mind reaches nirvana. As I have to give up everything at death, it is best to give it to living beings. So Rinpoche gave any commentary. Decent.
파신 두발레장 파신 두발레장 롱슈 나마다 마다 통지 롱슈 두가 르롱슈가 마다 바레스 마다 바이마 산당 호레스 힌지 쳔 마다 바산당나 힌지 쳔보랑기 나주나스 마다 바산당 바이나 되네 랑글 마다 바징글 마다 바드는 산당 바이나 힌지 쳔보 제용레스 힌지 쳔보 니제 전부를 줄라면 니 전부 네 신장라면 니 전부 매매라면 니 전부 송요로 니 전부 송 신장라면 니 전부 신장라면 니 전부 돈이도 싫어다 마다부도 싫어지 마진비 니 전부들 신장라면 니 전부 마다부도 싫어 장지 신비 니 전부 줄라면 니 전부 돈이도 싫어지 니 전부들 미메라 미미 전부 미메 제이드 셴렌스도 어디 말이야 이 전부도 주지용으로 손내가
So then we get into the compendium of perfections. Chishena shiloka chi, then dunda shiloka chi. So the yabudu. So if you see the impermanence of resources and naturally have great compassion, you will know with good reason that the gifts you have kept in your house belong to others. So when great compassion can be divided into three categories. This is one way to divide it, is by categories of three. So the great compassion that observes sentient beings, the great compassion of phenomena, and great compassion of the observationless. So these are the three types of great compassion. The great compassion that focuses on sentient beings is that compassion that wishes for others to be free from suffering. So this is the focus on sentient beings. If it's that coupled with an understanding of the impermanence, coupled with the wisdom that realizes the impermanence of sentient beings, it's the great compassion of phenomena. If it then also focuses on the lack of true establishment of those sentient beings, then this is great compassion focused on the observationless. So these are the three types of great compassion. One is just focused on sentient beings suffering. The other is focused on their suffering, but their impermanence as well. And the other is focused on their emptiness, basically, in short. These are the three types of great compassion. Almost levels. Sometimes it's explained as levels of great compassion. Digsun. Starting with the sentient being, then the phenomena, then the wisdom.
Pashin duba le longshu na la mataba tongjin hi chimu nga ju na shimba da ki chinjin baji chinja jenje bar shindu rin tsuji toba njuro sa ta tamal ma jima ton tsu tu su yajama du tu son din sa de toba njuro Kanjin tele jiba le don longe jiba tamba ina tele jiba chegu mares sina yungu mares le don longe chine jaba ina an tele jiba yungu sina yungu res china kanja tele jiba jungs chine le don longe mambu yoba ina ugo tele sina yoro ta sungu goro ta ne jiba yungu res te jiba tanga ne jiba me bares jina China kanja tele jiban jong. Machu tumu tatu sungu de, machu tumu tatu sungu de, shubu inanda, jubu inanda tangi ki China longshu de sungu goro da, longshu dabu jagu goro da. Sungu de, China nyeba tada, nyomen joros, jiba tanga ina, ane wate nyoba yungu mares. Nyomen joro. Shenpe jiden paru dwadu. Jimba tanga ina, jiden paru dwa yungu res. Dendro lada mali jene, dwa yungu res. Paru dwandu. Majin tsende nila an. Dungenche. Lulongje majin bache tsende le, jewa shema penche maze, tsende le yan, jiba yungu res. Tsendini layang, dungenche, mei nuan na, kanda yi rangshin tar, mei nuan lu longshe tu nga lo, kanda tongwa na matabari keji zangchi res. Kanda tongwa ta yonsu, matang tada, jima matang na tu meba chana res. Tangi yin na yashu res. Majin nuan na, mata menju shin, Jima matamba nyane na nyanzuka meba chana kores. Menjo te. Shenpe teta yongyu tedun ros. Jima tangsha kaya na tedu besha nda kores. Bene jasha mungu nda kores. Bene jasha yu na jima len chukuro tenda kores. Shenpe teta yuebe tedun ro. Sentient penpa wataba jiju shana.
Sentient covers casa. Sentient Pembar, Shupe. Okay, Sentient. And then we.
Shimbi tada yubi dedun ro. Sentient Pembar yu kaan shimbi nuna nyibu meba yuban juros. Nyibu mebi lu nyibu yuba chandaris. Jiba tandu kundebu yunguro da.
Okay. So the Compendium Perfection says, if you see the impermanence of resources and naturally have great compassion, you will know with good reason that the gifts you have kept in your house belong to others. So you see all of your items as if they are just gifts you're waiting to give to other people, that they aren't owned by you. In your mind, you see them all as things for others. There is never fear from what has been giving away. What is kept at home gives rise to fears. There is never fear from what has been given away. What is kept at home gives rise to fears, that it is insufficient, ordinary, or needing constant protection. If you give it away, these faults never harm you. By giving, you achieve happiness in future lives. Not giving brings suffering, even in this life. Human wealth is like a shooting star. What is not given away will cease to exist. So no matter what, you will be separated from these things by death or in one way or another, them breaking impermanence, you will be separated from these things. So since that's going to happen no matter what, then developing this attitude that these items are just others' items is a more realistic attitude related to things that are really not owned, are really in reality unowned. Shooting star. Ngate Sampa.
Kanji Yunsu Tonga Kepe Khans, Jimba Tangendel Kepa Soyaparis, Haju Togres, Kepe Khan, Kanji Yunsu Tonga Kepe Khan, Ju Sheba Dada Sulagas, Sheba Susu to Lulonsha to Sal Gabres, Yunsu Zon Yu, Mende Mabajos, Jal Lulonsha to Daba Kazijana, Mabachanagres. Mende kaya me. Shebe tato pensun. Shebe tato pensun soba joros. Jimba tanga ina tui tato nda tang shema tui tato pensun soba yungres. Jimbe longshe tinchi de. Jimba tanga de longshe yungres. Sende longshe yungres. Seshema penche longshe yungres. Tui tato longshe yungres. Shebe tato pensun soba jons. Jemba tanga in tuitato pansu soba yungores. Tanga yu nyamu yungsu zemin juros. Jemba tanga ina nyamu yungsu zega marzi. Yungsu zemin juro. Juba pabi lami nyamu jes. Juba pabi lamis da nyamu bala juba. Wadi pabi lama res, nyamu che yung res. Kanji sheba tene lanji chu.
Midtown show.
Tele jen ju pabi langen song sa. Kanji sheba tene lanji chu. Tele jen ju pabi langen yin si ta. Sheba shuju se da zunga de lang yan ba de song de sare. Da zhuwa zenba yin zang ne ngan song je gare kwal ku de garo lang yan ba de kwal ku lang re ngan song de ga lang re lang yan ba de pabe lang yan song she sos.
Okay, so then we read on. Wealth, let me just read back. I'll just start. Wealth not given is transitory and will be gone. By giving it away, it remains a treasury. Wealth of no value comes to have value when you strive to help living beings. So it's like putting money in a bank. Rinpoche compared it to, that you put the money in the bank and it's there for you later. It says it remains a treasury because it is karma. Virtuous karma that will give rise to the experience of happiness, give rise to the higher realms, give rise to liberation, give rise to Buddhahood. So it remains a treasure, whereas wealth not given away has no value, really, once the separation takes place. wealth of no value comes to have value when you strive to help living beings. So wealth that in actuality is unowned and has no value to you because you'll be separated from it, actually becomes to have a value that you carry forward. This is one of the best explanations I've ever heard. Sorry. The wise praise giving wealth away. This Sheda Yapaldu Rinpoche. The wise praise giving wealth away. Childish beings like to hoard it. The Dayan Dai Yapaldu. No wealth is kept by holding on to it. From giving it away, excellence always arises. By giving things away, you no longer grasp the afflictions. Being miserly breeds afflictions on an ignoble path. Noble beings say generosity is the best path, while its opposite is a bad path. So a bad path is a path that leads to negativities or not where you want to go. So a bad path is a path to the lower realms of cyclic existence. Or it could be a path that you think leads to Buddhahood, but doesn't, leads to even a higher realm, formless realm, as an example, translator's note. So bad path usually is referring to one that leads to lower realms, but it could also mean one that doesn't go where you expect it to. So it's not good for it from your side. So that's decent.
다 가지고 르던 로제가 가지는 평소수바 가서 야부여버데 하만되게 네 가서 그래 레사샤 벤레샤샤 데브드로도 말베
So
lesser.
So the body and the resources, our body right now, and the resources and wealth that we have, the things that we have. That's why wealth is a tricky word, because it infers that you're rich when you say that word wealth and translate it as that, but an enjoyment can literally be a cold Coca-Cola. And that's not wealth in our minds. So that's why that translation of using the word wealth as the translation for what we say as enjoyments, I think enjoyments is much more literal, because it doesn't infer that there's like this level, a level. So that's why I choose to use that word enjoyment. So just as an aside to that. So our body and the enjoyments that we have are all from a previous karma, previous virtues that we've created before. So that which we possess now has been created by these previous things. It's like the example of the bank. We have this bank, and now it's cashed into this experience of our body and the resources and enjoyments that we currently have. Decent.
What the Mazilan to Suki, what the lives of us were done, as well Nabajena, what the Hamangi, what the lays up, legendary were.
So Christians, Hindus, and Muslims, those of the Jewish faith, believe that God created all of these things that we speak of. But according to Buddhism, it's karma. It's these previous things that create the experience that we have now, body and our things. Decent.
So this
is how you think about this.
타투도 팬데 자신루비 돈도 삼바타바네 훈신 제마다나 신제를 템비 소노 진예지 투비 추들라두데스 현천원레 되게 죄비 소노가 그때네 조진조로 강이 셔마 진예 강기 시마니에지네 지네 강수 쇼멘조로 되네 존된데지 송 댄시 다장 내다나 신제 칸 체메라 펜도 되네 된다고 셰소스 와다든 만든데서 나가 쳐도 왔다 그와 기자와 치부진 로지가와 나가와 예지가와 치부 중간데 이바이나 단지 세전 단지 내가 다도 달라든 루비체도 농화야 비체고레스 돈도 삼바 타바네 문신 제바당나스 제바당나 세전 타지를 문네 세전 타지를 제바당샤바이나 세전을 때네 소나로 통그래 소나 빠도마바 통그래 좀 그래
Sheri Abudu.
야 템비 소나 되네지 토베 세전 세메바 인자 소나 세메바 통그레스 수달라도 도데 르무지 정원래 내고불로 그리션 정원 되게 죄비 소나가 게드드네 조젠조로스 안에 어때 짐바담이 세전 단지다면 짐바데 조 조바이나 안에 강기심이 장년제 조 강기 심망 장다냐비 제대로 가서 중고 말했어 쇼맨조로 란들 지역반도 그가 잡아도 왔다 쇼맨조로 되는 좋은 데서 송시에 송배에서 댄시장 늘란 항사 당단들이 당다 들이스 늘란 세전칸 세면라 팬도 더던 자오사 세전칸 세면바 이상 세전 타지를 네 세전 타지를 매비 예바당야 해주고야 샹바고야도 소나 세면바 사거です세전을 정하면바 이상
네,
그와도 세면바 용거ですyeah.
Okay, so then the giant Sheba Drupa?
The Drupa.
Okay, still 6, giant Sheba. If you dedicate from the depths of your heart all the roots of virtue, however great or small they may be, for the sake of accomplishing both temporarily and ultimately extensive benefit and happiness for all living beings, and then give something, you obtain merit related to each living being. Hence, you easily complete the collection of merit. So Rinpoche said this point is very important to understand. So then he reread it. He said, if you dedicate from the depths of your heart all of the roots of virtue, however great or small they may be, for the sake of accomplishing both temporarily and ultimately extensive benefit and happiness for all living beings, and then give something, you obtain the merit related to each living being. So when you make that offering, it's as if you did that for every being. And since there are limitless, countless living beings, you can quickly achieve Buddhahood because you quickly collect that merit necessary to do so. And it says, the Precious Garland says, so Nagarjuna's Rinchen Chenmo, Uma Rinchen Chenmo, were the merit of saying this to have physical form, it would not fit into the universe as numerous as the grains of the Ganges sand. The Bhagavan said this, and there is a logic to it. The expanse of living beings is immeasurable. The merit of the wish to help them is the same. And that's it. So that quote from the Precious Garland is saying, if it were to have a physical form, it does not. But if it were, it's saying that it would be larger, it wouldn't fit into the universe. It would be as numerous as the grains of sand in the Ganges. So it's saying that an unbelievable, incomprehensible amount of merit is created by this. By this proper dedication, this proper motivation.
Yeah, don't la patu jobas. Jimba don't la patu joba. Jimba ya pure la patu jobe. Patu jobe read to what they Naju Mares. Sina pure da. Don't say Majeba, don't say Majeba, Jeba Nyaba Shebi, Kodan, Kolatena. And the Jimba don't la bache down, pure la bache uduna, Kot Naju Mares. Uje to Solaten and the Yud Bache uduna, Uje to Naju Mares. Hayu Zonshi, Hayu Mazonshins, Jimba don't la patu jobatan, pyo la bad jo be jala tu nya ju ma res ma zon jins jeje ne jimba don la bad jo ba pyo la bad jo be jala de te gen do na ya lang ju ma res xin na lang ma ja de pa xin du ba les su zong zu na pa xin du ba les sini ju ne gang ki pen jo rans sini ju ne gang ki pen jo ran ta jo tu yin ba de jo pen jo ran yon su tong sen pyo ma ju yu yon ne ge su ju lo wa da da ma song da zu lo wa da shang ju sen be ma le yon su pong gu res yin be ge da yin ba ya pyo la ne ge tu ga pong gu res
Less so.
quand j'ai ton seigneur bo jo ba da quand j'ai ton seigneur bo jo ba da ton seigneur bo jo ton seigneur ba ton seigneur bo jo ba da yang da shang chu lang la di je na je ba ton lang de la di ba xie du na de zai yu ne ran ren qian Geshe Chang shang chu sen be lang yu ba mis yinba tang la ge, yinba pyo la ge shi gendo na jabu ki jesi yin na pong ku res. Tenda yin nuwa rang, rin shen jesi jang, shang chu sen be pong yueba yin, yueba mis. Lang yueba mis.
This will do.
Ote, she soos,
The Jimba
whatever ti
Nuna.
ju jana.
Less so. Okay, and now, furthermore, do not hold on to companions and belongings that have prevented you from increasing your ability to give things away, that have intensified your stinginess, that have stopped the development of previously absent inclinations to give, or that have weakened your inclinations to give. Do not take on these kinds of companions or accept these kinds of material gifts, even if others offer them. The Compendium of Perfection states. So it's so who made these points that Lama Tsongkhapa is stating? We find it in the Compendium of Perfections, and it says bodhisattvas give up all their possessions that intensify the fault of stinginess or that do not expand generosity. The deceivers that become an obstacle. Bodhisattvas should not accept jewels, wealth, or even a kingdom if it would harm their generous attitude and obscure the path to perfect enlightenment. So anything that becomes an obscuration to enlightenment should be completely removed. So therefore, if any of these things were to harm a bodhisattva's generous attitude, then they have to not be done. They have to be removed, because the bodhisattva's entire aim of life is to become a Buddha, and generosity is necessary quality that you have to become a Buddha. So it's for this reason. Rinpoche, ngatsu karma juni ere.
Yeah.
Or jusun juni.
Yeah.
Ngatsu the trua the it's a channel garibe. That's a karma ju dandrash.
Yeah. Okay, what did they again?
Okay, so we have 10 minutes or so left, maybe a few more than that. We can, if anybody has any questions, we can do a couple of those, or we can just end. But if there is a question, that's more important than. So let's see. Any questions? Tired, raining. Okay. Well, we'll do the concluding Konsakali Kasa, Charpa Badu.
Yeah.
So we'll do the concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. And yes. And please afterwards get bags, and want everyone to take home fruit. Whatever sweets are on the altar, Rinpoche would like them all taken home. So, concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon, I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the teachings of all sentient beings, and in particular, the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drakpa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well. With whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the 3 times, I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, all-powerful Abbot Tenzin Gyatso may stay until samsara's end. Pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Geshe Rinpoche Kutsi Shapi Denonang Atsu Lamrim Chenmo Kanga Chirana Sheda Sebuldu